Today we are going to continue our lecture on unitary transformation, part 5, in which we are going to see the symmetries and conservation law. Particularly in this lecture, we are going to see the conservation of energy and linear momentum. So far, we have seen the finite time translation and finite spatial translation. Uh, Now we will see the symmetries and conservation law. Just now we have seen the Hamiltonian of a system transform under unitary transformation e power I alpha g as follow. This just now we have seen for the random operator A prime. Now we are replacing A prime by H prime. H prime is equal to e power I alpha g H into e power minus I alpha g, which is equal to H plus I alpha uh, commutation of g with H plus I alpha squared over 2 factorial, the commutation of g uh, with with the commutation of g with h. It will go on up to I power alpha q over 3 factorial. It will go up to n. But since alpha is a small parameter, we can take up to first order of alpha. That is first two term. We are going to take only the first two term. As I have explained just now. If H commute with G, naturally it will commute with e power I alpha G also, because after all it's exponential of G. So once it's G commit means exponential e power I alpha G also will commit with H. So, in this case, we may infer two important conclusions. One is the Hamiltonian is invariant under transformation. That is, under transformation, H prime is equal to e power I alpha g H into e power minus I alpha g. We have taken only the first two terms, so this will be equal to H plus I alpha g commutation of g with H. But G and H will commute, and naturally the second term will become 0. This will become 0. So naturally H prime will become H. So that means Hamiltonian is invariant under the unitary transformation. That is one important conclusion. We will see the other one now. If in addition to G commit with H, the operator G does not depend on time explicitly, there is a conservation law, that is G is constant of motion. Since we know from the Heisenberg time derivative of expectation value of operator, we have seen it, that is a time derivative of expectation value of G is equal to 1 over IH cross expectation value of the commutation of G with H. If G is explicitly depends on X, t time, then one extra term will come. This is that is 1 over I h cross expectation value of commutation of G with H plus expectation value of expectation value of delta G over delta T. We assumed that G does not depend explicitly on time. Then the second term will become 0. This will become 0. So naturally, we have seen already this also will become 0. Computation of 0. So the time derivative of expectation value of G will become 0. That means uh, this G is a constant. Only if you differentiate a constant, then you will get 0. So that is G is constant in motion because of this Heisenberg relation. So whenever the Hamiltonian is invariant under unitary transformation, the generator of the transformation is conserved. Here the generator is G. In general, that for every invariant symmetry of the Hamiltonian, that correspond to conservation law. That is a second important conclusion. Now we will see the conservation of energy and linear momentum. Uh, First, we will see the time translations are generated in the case of time independent Hamiltonian by evolution operator. You know the time evolution operator U, which is a function of t naught, is equal to e power minus I over h cross into h into t minus t naught. Since you know very well, H commute with generator of time translation. Here, generator is H over H cross, which is given by H itself in this case. So it is invariant under time translation. Just now we have seen it. As H is invariant under time translation, the energy of the isolated system is conserved. That is one important point. Now we will see about the spatial translations. The linear momentum is invariant under the uh, unitary operator and the unitary operator UA, which is a function of P. That is spatial unitary operator, and the position operator transform as follows. We have seen this when a unitary operator act on p prime, it will p will unitary operator act on unitary operator act on p, then P will become P prime. So P prime is equal to P. Similarly, we have seen the position operator act on R, then R prime will become R plus A. Just now we have seen. This is just a partial transformation. That is, we are adding a small factor A. Since the Hamiltonian of a free particle does not depend on coordinate, because the potential energy depends on the coordinate x, y, z coordinate, not the kinetic energy. So total Hamiltonian is p squared over 2m plus v, which is a function of h. Since for a free particle v is equal to 0, this h commit with p, because h contain only p square over 2m. P will commit with p, so this will become 0. That means the Hamiltonian is invariant under spatial translation. That is, h prime is equal to u h u dagger. Here u is e power I over h cross a dot p, h e power I over minus I over h cross a dot p. Here you know very well that p and x commute. So you can change the order of the operator. So you take the h to the right hand side, then the multiplication of this u dagger become 1. So naturally this will become h. So h prime will become h. That is, the Hamiltonian is invariant under the spatial translation. Since h and p commute and the linear momentum operator does not depend explicitly on time, then p is a constant of motion, because the according to Heisenberg relation, that is, the time derivative of the expectation value of an operator is equal to 1 over I h cross the expectation value of commutation of that particular operator with the Hamiltonian h plus the expectation value of partial derivative of that operator with respect to time. So here we are taken p as an operator, so this will become 1 over I h cross p commutation of p with the h. Uh, and there is no time dependency explicitly, then this will become zero because there is no explicit time dependent. And also P and H commute, this also will become zero. That means time derivative of expectation value of P is equal to zero. That means P is constant. So if H and P commute, the Hamiltonian will be invariant under partial translation, and linear momentum, that is P, will be conserved. This is another important point. The invariance of the system under partial translation means there is a symmetry of spatial homogeneity. The requirement for homogeneity of space implies that spatially displayed wave function, that is psi, which is a function of r plus a small vector a, much like psi of r, which satisfies the Schrodinger equation. That is, symmetry of time homogeneity gives rise to the conservation of energy, whereas symmetry of phase homogeneity gives rise to conservation of linear momentum. These 2 points are very important. If you find this lecture helpful one, kindly subscribe my channel. Also share it and join it for the growth of my channel. Thank you very much for watching my videos continuously and supporting me continuously. Thank you very much.